I threw a few questions in the chat.
Those are some good ones. For your chat GPT one, we might have to get you to screen share if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
That one
So
seems like
weird.
a troubleshooting one.
Yeah. 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 Would love to. I'm here. And where are we live streaming? Oh, YouTube? Oh, cool.
Troubleshooting one.
Yeah, it's really weird. I changed my name on the settings, and all of a sudden, when I went to my custom GPTs, like just like gone. Not the ones I have people shared with me and I saved. It was just like mine that I created. Oh, I created like two, right? But it was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, what happened there?
Yeah. Hey, it is 2 o'clock Pacific and 5 o'clock Eastern, and it is time to start our AI mastermind. Today we're going to talk about latest in the news, and we're also going to play a fun game and answer your questions. Yeah, Katie's got some news for you. If you don't get the email newsletter or haven't read it yet, that's kind of where we get the information to share. And I know, Heather, you're going to be happy to see that Echo Jockey is available. And Echo Jockey is a really cool tool to help you book more podcast interviews. And we don't want to tell too many people about it because, there's competition. But you can get 30% more podcast contacts in there using the code that we have. And I think Andrea is going to put that in the chat. And we'll put a link to Echo Jockey in the YouTube description as well. And then we'll also be uploading an Echo Jockey bonus module into the class. So everybody will have a little bit of instruction on how to use Echo Jockey. And we had Cahill on one of our masterminds. He'll probably come back to talk a little bit more about it. But it'll help you identify podcasts that you want to get on and who the contacts are for those podcasts. And one of the things that I think Andrea did was searching the list for one of our colleagues in the industry to see what podcast he's been on. And then we can get the contact information for all the people that he's done interviews with, because we both speak about AI from different perspectives. And if the people are interested in his perspective, they're probably also interested in mine. So we can then, kind of parallel all the work that he's already done and piggyback on that and get some interviews. So it's kind of fun to look it up in there, and we can show you Echo Jockey a little bit later potentially, but I think we have a lot of questions today. Katie, what else is in the news?
Yeah, so there's a lot of fun stuff as always. So Louis Vuitton is using AI in their company and have already trained over 1,500 employees with it. And what they have done is actually create their own internal AI so that everything is kind of like within that moat that we talk about in class sometimes. But I'll give you a little, there's like a little picture of what their internal AI looks like. And can y'all see that picture in the center of this article?
Yep. Can you zoom in? Can you like zoom the
trying?
Oh, okay.
Let's see if I click on it. There we go. So this is their it's small because it's a presentation that they gave at a conference. So, but this is basically like their own internal GPT spinoff, which is kind of where the future of AI is heading. We're getting more and more into that space where the bigger your company is, the more of a need you might have for your own unique AI. And you might be able to do that even with a small business if you have the time to dedicate to that. So I really liked their whole motto about the the creative process is still human, but generative AI can complement that process. And they're wanting to augment AI with humans, not get rid of humans as employees. So that was kind of nice to see, because we do see businesses in other areas who are all about getting rid of human workers if AI can do the work. And that's not really, we like to keep the humans as the drivers with AI. In other news, we have AI being used to help find a new plant or a new partner for a plant. There is a university in Southampton that is looking for a female partner to help reproduce this almost extinct plant. So what they're doing is they're taking drones and they're using the drones to capture images from all over Africa. And then they're using AI to identify the plants within those images. And so they haven't found a partner for this plant yet, but I always find it interesting, like the different applications that we can use AI. So how cool would it be if AI was able to find a female partner for this plant to reproduce? And if not, what if they aren't able to find something, they will probably use AI and some other science that is beyond my education to talk about changing the plant's sex so that it could reproduce on its own, which is just like, so I love like anything sciencey. Thought that was kind of fun. Did everybody see the new Canva rollout?
I saw a blurb about it, but I didn't understand it.
So they had a new rollout that was available for 1 million people. If you clicked the right button within your Canva portal, it's already claimed all the 1 million people signed up for it. It's going to be accessible to everybody later this year, probably like August. So if you didn't get it, no big deal. Basically, they changed a lot of the UI, and they also expanded the AI tool Magic Studio. If you use that in Canva, there's some new AI features, and some of the already used AI features in there have just been updated a little bit, so they should work better now in Canva. And one of the things that everybody was talking about with this, they had like this whole big conference. They did this really nice performance that a lot of people felt was very cringeworthy because it was like a rap dance similar to, I don't know, Hamilton or something like that. But there's talk in the marketing sphere about whether or not that was effective for that type of conference. And if you get a chance, definitely watch it. It's entertaining at the least. Canva actually came out with a statement about their performance because they received so much backlash about it, and they felt like it was very on brand for them. Some people were talking about whether or not the playwright was AI because of how bad the performance was, which I thought was kind of funny. So
It was a performance at what? I didn't understand. Performance
at the Canva event.
They did a rap. The
Yeah.
Canva like CEO did a rap, and they had backup dancers.
Okay. You got a link on it? Sounds
Yeah,
entertaining.
so
to
I put
watch.
the link to our
Yeah.
newsletter in the chat. If you click on that, we're going through all the latest news that went out in the newsletter.
Yeah, this story got a lot of comments.
Yeah.
Well,
it
then
went
in a way,
viral.
though, don't you think it was effective then, you know?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
if,
Yeah.
like, you know.
It reminded me, I don't know, it reminded me of like some of the Sesame Street raps back in the day.
Mhm.
You want to play it?
I don't,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's
I
see.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't have the video
might,
pulled
like-
up, so just bear
Yeah,
with
play
me.
it. That's what I'm saying. Play it. Entertaining.
I mean, I remember like Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer would get up there on stage and do like raps a ways back. But yeah, I want to.
Let's see.
Yeah, I can't find it, even this link from the newsletter. Looks like this is all Twitter.
Yeah.
I'll do a YouTube video. Y'all be the I love this. Yeah. Oh, I guess it was like a 2-second clip from that one. Let's see if they show any more of it. Oh my God, cool.
We talked about a lot. We just take a minute to recap. Let's do it. Redesign your work and but got that glow up. We redesign everything from the flow, customize your workspace and make it your own. Ooh, now you're making magic up in the zone.
Sir. Yes, I'm talking to all of you up there.
Did you invite
You guys know what's happening. All right. But what about me?
Who is you?
A CIO from an enterprise team, and I have some doubts.
Security.
That's right, and I'd like to have some certainty. Nice that you got some pretty shiny things, but can you meet the demands of a global machine? We got pretty high stakes. No room to air. We need more than a cute little poke to share.
So you think Kevin can't go deep, but we can see that the teams actually just designed to departments really are dream. More than on the surface, our service is service team.
Color me intrigued, but I'm not yet sold. Security,
Said that already, it's getting old.
logs, SIM, SSO. Can you really tell me that there's very much control?
You can even manage automated licensing, compliancy, there's privacy.
Okay, I can see, but is it likely for you to integrate all of our systems easily?
Actually, matter of fact, you see, we can integrate them all, even Slack. Believe me.
Okay, I'm impressed, but AI, what's the deal?
That's where it comes in the chemistry. We don't train on your work without your permission, safe and secure, if that is what you need.
API, custom solution.
Yes, the API is tailored for you, so you can chase your dreams and do what you do.
Hey, that's really great and incredible.
True.
Hey, I'm sold. Did we just become friends? Bonding over how much we love Canva to the end.
You know what, bud? I think that you're fine. The future is bright with Canva Enterprise.
That's cute.
Oh my God, I smiled that whole time.
I'd have to go with the cringeworthy on that one.
Little cringy. It's like Sesame Street meets Vanilla Ice. Yeah.
Totally brought me back to Sesame Street days.
We know corporate meetings are boring as heck, so you know that was like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That boring
Yeah.
conference.
True.
And they got the point across, like all the details, like, oh, they're doing Canva. It's a good question about the AI. Like it made sense.
Yep. And that's what a lot of people, so like a lot of people did really enjoy it. And but that obviously it caused a lot of commotion because we're all talking about it. So
It worked.
yeah.
Yep.
So one of the other pieces of news that we discussed in the newsletter was whether or not you should be polite to your AI assistants. And the study that is referenced in there talks about how being polite doesn't always, or definitely does not improve AI responses. Like you're not going to get a better output just because you are nicer to AI. But what it does do is the nicer you are to it, it helps you mentally. So it might actually help you be more creative, or it the way that they put it is positive emotions promote discovery of novel and creative actions, ideas, and social bonds, which in turn build that individual's personal resources ranging from physical and intellectual resources to social and psychological resources. So while you might think talking nice to your AI isn't helpful with the outputs, it's actually helping you, which is kind of nice to think about. And then I'm sure some of you heard about all of the controversy and legal commotion going on with Scarlett Johansson, OpenAI, basically asked to use her name. She repeatedly said, no, I do not want you to use my name. And then they went and created a likeness of her voice that literally sounds like her voice. So OpenAI is being sued by Scarlett Johansson. And there's a few other actresses and musicians that are they're all pulling together for the No Fakes Act. And the No Fakes Act is basically an act that is being brought to Washington to help really put up some of those guardrails for ensuring people can be protected with their creative assets, whether that's your voice or your writing or your intellectual property. So this is obviously something that I think earlier today we were even talking about in our law policy workshop. So something is definitely needed to ensure that everybody can be protected with AI. And then we had
Can I say something about that real quick? Just as a
Absolutely.
discussion point.
Yeah.
I went down this rabbit hole actually about the Scarlett Johansson thing. And what's interesting to me about how Sam Altman, he just seems to like there are no rules in his life. So that's an interesting thing. This is a consistent pattern for him. I just find that fascinating. He doesn't hear no, he just like does it. He's also been, he's created AI out of that. So I understand that positive thing, but I just kind of see this as could be really a major issue, the beginning of a major issue. Because, future creating like an Alexa, or creating something with a famous person. Because like, how do they pay for it? Like if they actually did create a Sky with Scarlett Johansson, let's say she said yes, or the next actress says yes, where's the money, or where's the copyright, or how do we start to create like Sheryl Crow? Like, it's just an interesting conversation, right? Like I know that with TikTok and Instagram, they figured out like if we do a song and I use Sheryl Crow's song, she does get some kind of level of whatever it is, couple cents. But there's a controlling mechanism with Hollywood, and I'm just curious how this is going to play out. So I find this particular thing really interesting about licensing their voice and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
It is really interesting because we've also seen other celebrities who are very active in the AI world, and they have licensed their voice and they are creating AI models after their voice. And so you've got people who are like all for it, and they're like, yes, use my voice just as long as you're paying me for it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
And they are getting paid for it. So they've worked out some sort of agreement. I don't know what the monetary value is for that.
Well, and I don't think they have it figured out. I think we've seen this SAG issues part one.
Yeah, part one. Yeah.
And they'll continue to go on because because it's likeness, which could be voice, it could be movements, it could be the face, it could be like depending on who the celebrity is. What if it's their hands that they're famous for? I don't know. Whatever it is could be used, right? And there's I think it was New York Times, and there's all these lawsuits going on where the AI has been trained on their intellectual property. So there's that aspect of it too. So there's going to continue to be all of these things. And yeah, I have no idea how they're going to do it, but they're going to figure out a way, right? Like, how did they initially figure out like radio commercials or TV or any of that? It's just gonna develop.
It's gonna be interesting shakeout just because of
for
how
sure.
open AI is and how now ChatGPT specifically has now done this free thing. Like they want everyone for free, the content level. That was their next big thing on the 4.0. So it's gonna be interesting to play out, It's a whole nother level of interesting.
Yeah. And like Katie was saying, that was why we hosted the law workshop earlier today. Because that is the concern for businesses. And that was the focus of that today, was coming from a business perspective and how you can understanding the risks there, and then how you can begin to protect yourself at least.
You know, something interesting. I had a conversation with a friend last night who does a lot of AI. He just works with AI, and he's really into astrology, and so am I. And he's like, "Oh, I use AI as my astrologist." And he was talking about his prompt that he uses, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." He goes, "Well, I was testing it too because I knew the answer, and I was testing it, and it lied to me." And so I said to it, "That's not true. You just lied to me. This is the truth." And it responded, "Yeah, you're right. I lied to you. I lied to you. This is the real answer." Like it gave the right answer. And it was like really into, we were going, I'm like, that was really, he's like, it literally said, "Yeah, you're right. I lied to you. This is the truth."
Yeah, I wonder do you know which one he was using?
Oh, who was he using? I think he said GPT on that one.
And
It sounds
Yeah.
some of them are like trained to respond differently. You might get, "Oh yeah, I lied to you," if you're talking to it very colloquial. If some of them will say something like, "Oh, that was my mistake," or maybe something even more professional, like, "I misunderstood," or
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, that is why we say, don't trust everything that
Yeah.
comes
He happened
out.
to know, like he was testing it, going, "I'm
Yeah.
going to give you this information. This is kind of what it is." He's like, "No, that's not right." He's like, "Yeah, I lied to you. This is actually the truth." And then he gave it the truth. And it's like, I can't
Well,
believe it just said that.
it's funny you say that because we've tested some of our own tools in a similar way,
Yeah.
where I have taken meetings that Nicole, Katie, and I have been on, taken the transcripts, fed that to an AI to get our voices in there, so we could write as the same way that we communicate and talk. It doesn't even matter what kind of meeting it is, because the way you talk in general is the way you talk. So
Right.
I fed that to the tool, and then it gave me a voice, which turned out to be really great. And then I asked it, based on this conversation, what would you say the zodiac sign for this person would be? And it got it right for Nicole and for Katie. It didn't get it right for me, but those two were
I love that.
spot on the very first time. So it was,
Wow.
it's pretty amazing. But
I'm definitely gonna use the astrology, but I'm like, oh, I could totally go
yeah.
down this road. Human design. I was like, but I don't know
You have
yet.
to think about like how much it's been trained in that area.
Right.
So I'm guessing like there's not as much astrology data in ChatGPT as there is marketing and business data. So every
Right.
time you're using it, and like you can actually tell ChatGPT if you want it to, you can like give it a thumbs up if the information is good, or you can tell it if the information is wrong, and it will remember that. And like you can consent to have your data trained on. So every time you're interacting with it and you're like, "Yeah, that astrology answer was correct," then it will get better
Can
over
you
time.
upload like a book? Like, let's say I wanted to read the human design book or something, like something crazy like that, like start to train it. Can you do that? And then read this book and then give me this answer?
Mhm.
Yeah, you can do that. And this is where we also talk about being very careful with how you use AI, because if you're using that personally, for your own uses, totally fine. But if you, let's say you upload an entire book and then you start making content and selling that content based off of that book,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's like
Right.
totally
For-
using it in the wrong way.
I just
Well,
wanted to be
then-
my astrologist.
Ah,
Yeah, and also, so there's a few things in there too, just tactically of how it would work or not work. If you're going to upload like that whole human design book, likely you will need to have your own GPT in your own sandbox that could digest it, not on OpenAI, not like that. You would need to have your own AI look at it, and because there's a way that it
Right.
can quick reference it, but there's also a way where it's trained on it. So in order for it to be trained on it, it has to read every word and every line and understand the context of the whole concept, as
Okay.
opposed to if you're just going to like a public AI in a public environment, it will skim and it might grab titles, headlines, things like that. And so we call that the context window, like how much information the AI can understand. Gemini 1.5 has the biggest context window right now, and it's only available in their API so far. It's not available on the website, and you can't do a custom thing that you could reuse over and over. You would have to build it in your own little environment. If you put a human design book into GPT and you create your own GPT based on it, it's likely going to be inaccurate because it's not going to pull from all that information consistently. And
So you're
because it's,
saying so you're saying to put it inside of a closed system? Is that what you mean by that?
yeah, if you have it
Okay.
in a closed system where the AI is trained on a particular piece of information or, you know, volume of information, then you can
Okay.
query it and you can interact with it. And the GPTs are like the public, easy play, fun version of that,
Hmm.
that don't have guidelines to keep them on the rails. They also will they'll pull not just from your information, but from all of the information it's trained on. So your outputs are not going to be as accurate as if
Hmm.
you give it guidelines to what your outputs want to be, because it'll start pulling in random stuff. Like the
Right.
GPT will go off the rails. And
So
Yeah.
when we want to do a training, like let's say for human design, we're just using as an example, but it could be a
Yeah.
business, it could be sales processes like that. You're saying, suggesting, what do you, so do you know, can you maybe teach us how to do it another time? Like how to create that kind of structure or that closed?
There's different places you can do that in. And
Okay.
that's advanced. We can
Yeah,
get
sure.
into that a bit more in the
Okay.
advanced stuff. But there's a difference between what's publicly available to every person and what is privately available, because you want, likely with something like that, you'd want to build your own. And
Yeah.
then there's the idea of whose intellectual property are you using and how are you using it, and are you using it to profit? Because if you make a human design GPT that people pay for and
Mm.
you're using somebody else's intellectual property, there's
Mhm.
this gray area which could make you liable as more as more laws come into effect, because there's a
Mhm.
lot of people who are making GPTs off of other people's IP right now, like every marketer, right?
Yeah, every marketer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the
every
Bible,
marketer.
a lot of churches, the Bible. I mean, they're doing that with the Bible.
Yeah, there, because any marketing methodology, sales methodology, there's a
Yeah.
GPT for that.
Mm.
And so then who owns, like, there's this question of who owns the intellectual property there and the
Yeah.
outputs,
Good
and
point.
because we're looking at that, like I made a GPT off of somebody else's information and I didn't think about it until later, because I just thought, oh, this will give us good outputs,
Yeah.
and
Like Dan
so
Kennedy's using Dan Kennedy's or Russell Brunson's copywriting, things like that.
yeah.
But I am really interested in the world of like sales bots or training. And I know it's advanced, but you just explained that to me. I didn't know that, because you're right. If I enter it to what I call you call the playground, it's going to take that data and everything versus like, no,
Yes.
just train yourself on this data or this information and then give me queries based on that, only on those rails. I see
Yeah,
Because
what you're
remember,
saying.
it's trained on what you give it and what everybody else in the world is training
Right.
it. So, would you want Joe Schmo's information that
Yeah.
he's given it and told it is truth, and then
Right.
what you tell it is truth? Because it's going by what everybody says
So
is
how,
truth.
yeah. And so how, I mean, maybe I'm a rhetorical question here, right? How
yeah,
can we create a closed system
yeah.
for
And
our
there's
own
a
purpose?
number of platforms to do that in, depending
Okay.
on if you want it to be like a chat bot, or with us, we use Jasper. Jasper's in a closed system. The knowledge base is a closed system. We can chat and add that knowledge to the conversations that we're having. So
Okay.
in a way, like that's where we keep our information and our templates and all of that. Like
Mm.
ours live there. We also have a bot on our website, and that's a different kind of database, and its instructions are different. So that has guardrails of, and we've had to train it to say, like, when you get to this point, we need you to send it to a person, like contact this human. You could have it call a human, you could have it email a human, because it would just go on forever and bots will talk to each other forever. And so we
Mhm.
had to be like, okay, no more than 5 messages or 10 messages, whatever it is. Like
Got it.
we have to put the guardrails on it, and it has a specific job. So we have like 22 bots that do different things because we
Mhm.
give them very specific parameters.
Okay.
And the way that
Very
you build
interested in
them,
that.
yeah, it's like you would want to break down the task that you want the bot to do consistently. And
Okay.
then we would look at the best tool or platform to do that. Because our bots are all built kind of differently or using different platforms depending on the function. Because right now I can't just say like, here's the be all end all for bots.
Right.
you
What do
And-
you call that? I mean, like, what do you call that closed loop system? I mean, like, LLM is kind of like the name. I feel like it's open C.
LLM is the
Um,
brain behind the box that you're putting it in.
Okay.
So you have to have it tied into an LLM, and then you have your data in a secure container, and then you put rules on it. So what do we call it? I don't know. We call it a bot.
Okay.
And there's different platforms that you would use to build a bot.
Okay.
Or you could call it, there's some more technical names you could call it, and I'm not even going to go into those. Because like a rag, which is
I just want to sound like I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I just want to sound a little smart. Yeah. A
And for
closed
Closed
some,
system.
system is good.
teams-
We
sorry.
also refer to it as a moat, and that's just a visual way of talking about it for people that aren't the technical people, so that you know that you're separated from everybody else by this secure realm. But yeah, just keeping your stuff separated from everybody else's. It's like your own personal set of encyclopedias versus the entire library.
Yeah, and if you're a programmer, you're going to say it's a rag and you're building a rag.
Okay.
And a rag is involves NLP, which is your LLM that's accessing it, and it involves the retrieval, so that's the retrieval system of the information out of it. And you can have, and it's generative based on, you can have multiple LLMs in there, but it's a retrieval augmented generation. So
Ooh, fancy.
that if you say that to somebody, they're not going to understand.
But you'll sound so smart. Like you'll sound. Yeah, but you know, as I'm getting deeper into this, I'm starting
Yeah.
to look at, of course, how to use this in business and consulting. And I think everyone here probably is too. It's like, okay, as I'm playing in the sandbox of the open sandbox of ChatGPT and others, how do I start to kind of create my own little world? You know, how do I create my own little world of my own IP or my own things? Because I'm starting to see myself use the same things over and over again even in my own just like everyday stuff.
Yeah.
But I can see that kind of happening. I guess Jasper you're recommending that, but I'm already starting to see that like for myself, like
Yeah.
wanting to have my own little world.
And
Yeah.
Jasper's good for creating. And if you had all your human design stuff inside of Jasper, you could get great outputs.
Awesome.
And yeah, and you could even divide it into the different categories if you wanted to parse it out so it's not the entire book, or you could have it as the entire book in there. But Jasper's built on 12 LLMs, and Jasper's kind of a rag in itself, where it's using these different LLMs to learn your information and keep it in your sandbox.
Okay.
But as a customer service bot, you're not going to use Jasper.
Right. No, it's more of a data. Understand this information, read it, understand it, multiple information, then query on it and pull data from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you have the enterprise, you could use the APIs to
Yeah, true.
do the customer service, because you could develop your customer service voice. You could train it on your products and services. So absolutely, you could do that for all aspects of your company.
What do you mean by the enterprise and API into ChatGPT? Can you go a little deeper?
No, API into whatever your system you're using
Oh,
for
got it.
answering your emails,
Yeah.
or is it text or
Or
whatever it is.
so like a good API into GHL or go high
Mhm.
level.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's for the enterprise. That's nice.
Yeah.
So you could train it. You could train Jasper and then API it over.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that you could do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there a resource for like to learn how to do all that stuff? Because I feel like you guys are saying, oh, you can do this and you can do that, but heck if I
Just-
know where to start. So where do you go?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Start
Stick
here.
with us. Yeah, you're in the right
Fair
place.
enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of what we're talking about too does require like some things you would need a developer and somebody who knows Python to create some of these things, and then other solutions like Jasper, you don't need those. You don't need a developer on your team because they've already done all the hard work and attaching their system to all the LLMs and making it user friendly so that all you have to go in and do is give it the data that you want to use, and it will learn that data, or you can reference that data for what you're working on. Now, if you're a company like Louis Vuitton, like we were talking about earlier, they've got developers, people who know Python, they're creating their own AI that is probably based off of ChatGPT a little bit, maybe some other LLMs on there. That requires a significant amount of technical knowledge, which most of us don't have. So
But
right
they have
now,
a budget too, right?
yeah, and
So
budget. Yeah. So like you have to think about what solution is right for where you are at in your business and what you can do, what your team can handle. And one solution might be perfect for your business, but another solution might, not work for you at all. So just
Yeah.
note, like sometimes we're talking about concepts that are much larger and a little bit more advanced, and you'll get there eventually. But also AI is moving so
Yeah.
fast that I
Yeah.
really believe that we'll get to a point where you don't necessarily need to know program to create your own AI system. We're just not quite there yet. GPTs are kind of like the first step into that world, but we're getting closer to where like one day you'll be able to talk to your computer and you can say, hey, create me a bot that gives me recipes each day, and it will just do it for you.
And I would be leery, anyone, especially in this space, unless you're like super programmer with a super high budget, to put all your money into building anything on one platform. Because how many times has GPT changed over the past year, and like things break all the time? So what if one day the next update comes out and all your stuff doesn't work? And then who's going to fix that? And then having to redevelop it over and over again. So that's the other benefit of writing on somebody else too, especially somebody else like in the case of Jasper, who has 12 that they're using. So if one goes out, there's 11 others. So, just
But
things to think about. And that's why we have these discussions, so we can let you guys know what to look out for, or what things to consider if you are going to use some of these tools.
like if I was going to use Heather's example and take a few pages or a chapter from the book, I would probably parse that out section by section. So the AI can start to understand a little bit of it, because the more that you give it, the harder it is for the LLMs to, they're basically looking at everything for finding patterns. And so the more information it has to go through, it's not going to be as accurate as an output. So if you do it in sections, like for that example you gave, Heather, of the human design, I might upload like one chapter and then give it a task based on that one chapter. And then like my next few prompts might be on the next chapter or something like that. And that's like how we tackle it right now, because the AI systems can only handle so much. And with Jasper, you'd be able to upload a lot more, and it would be able to handle
I
a
would just
lot
dump the whole
more.
thing if it was Jasper, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, unless we're talking like 5,000 pages or something. But even then, I might just try it and see what happens. So
I mean, like
I'm all
ultimately,
about pushing it and seeing where it goes. And then
ultimately, my big picture is one of the big things I'm here for. A lot of stuff, but big things is how to create and train chatbots for sales, right? So for different kinds of niches and different kinds of companies. And so that's why I'm constantly thinking that, like, how do we train this bot or this closed system on this data point for this different company or this different niche? Specifically, it could be just a niche versus just a company.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
saying the solution, but this is why I'm always asking those kinds of questions. That's why I'm always like asking those
And we'll get there eventually. We got to build for like the class, people who are in the class, we've got to build on some of those foundational
I'm
aspects.
foundation. I'm a baby. I
first.
don't know what I'm talking about. Like baby away. Like yeah.
And you know what, Heather? There are really good bots that exist that already have sales parameters there are sales bots, booking bots, kind of discovery bots, and
Mhm.
that plug into GHL. And so we can we can cover that maybe a little bit more next week.
Sure.
In the I'd say in the mastermind session, because we have a prompting class next week, which will help you with that next step. We do have a fun game. I want to make sure we have time to play it. And the rules for this, so we're gonna do it on Zoom. So it's a little bit, we just have to play by the rules so we don't see. Does everybody know how to direct message? And Nicole, are you able to use something to create images right now? Like, do you have
No.
ChatGPT on your phone?
Well, she could just text if she could be one of the people. Are you driving, Nicole?
Well, my husband is sitting right here is driving.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, Travis and Colton hi. But no, I'm in the passenger seat right now.
Okay. So you can, what we're gonna have to do is you'll get an image, the first person on the list. So I put everybody in alphabetical order just to keep it easy. So Andrea is gonna be the first person on the list. Katie's gonna show Andrea a picture. I guess I should take Katie off the list. Or
You can
Andrea,
put me on the list.
you could what?
Stephanie's
You
not
can put
on
me.
Oh, you're not on the list. Yeah, of course.
I forgot.
Well, Stephanie, you're the last person anyways, alphabetically.
Oh, there you go.
So you're gonna get basically a picture that you're gonna try to recreate with AI. And the pictures need to be direct messaged to each other so we can't see. And we'll have one that it starts with. So this is like a game of telephone, but we're gonna do it by generating AI images.
So one person will receive a picture. The next person writes what they think the picture is, and then the next person generates what the person before wrote.
So do we need to have ChatGPT up, or what do we need to have open?
Whatever your favorite
Yeah,
image generator is.
Okay, so I'm gonna create an image and then I'm gonna send it to Christine. And then she's gonna try to recreate what I did by typing into whatever tool she has. Right?
Yeah.
Or is she sending the description to the next person?
So yeah, Nicole kind of changed. So the way that I've always done it is one person does the description and one person does the image, but we could do it just image to image by recreating it. Because it's a game. So yeah.
So then is given an image by Katie, since you are starting this. And then Andrea's gonna try to recreate it, and then Christine would, and then Ned. But you would need to send it to the next person.
So I would send it to Heather since
Yeah.
she's after me. Okay, man, I don't direct message. I don't want to send it to the group. So how do I do that?
In the chat, there's a drop down where it says everyone, and then you would just select Heather's name there.
And yeah.
All right, I got it.
So wait, I'm trying to create an image right now, like in Canva
No,
and
don't create
ChatGPT.
anything yet.
You don't
Okay.
create anything yet until you
No,
receive
but-
something from the person before you.
Oh,
It's a game of
but I think
telephone.
he's asking
I get
how to
that.
create an image.
Exactly. I'm trying to do it, but I'm not having any success with ChatGPT. It's just giving me text as results.
Oh.
Like I uploaded an image and it's coming back. Do I have to upgrade to Plus?
You shouldn't have to, just make sure you select version 4.
Version 4. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mine is too, only giving me text actually.
Yeah.
Select version
So-
4.
Do you want to share your screen?
Gonna put in Firefly link in the chat too.
I was thinking
Up
about
on
that
screen.
too.
And Canva also has free generator.
And Gemini and Claude. There you can use a bunch of different ones, but so Katie, did you give one to Andrea?
No, because I wasn't clear on what I thought Andrea was creating one.
Oh, Andrea can create one.
Do you want me to send it to you then, Katie, or are you not doing it?
Christine would be next, so you would send it to Christine. And Christine will try to replicate it.
Well, nothing. I'm right on the spot here trying to get into these.
Nobody's watching you.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So when you are for those who are typing into Chat GPT, what are you typing in?
So where do you upgrade? How do you know it's on 4? Like I only have 2 options, Chat GPT or Chat GTP Plus is what I'm saying.
Okay, so when I log in, I've got 4.0, 4, and 3.
Yeah.
You have paid
Wow.
though. You should
Yeah,
have 4 as an option though, Ned, even if you don't have paid. But you can also just go to Firefly. Andrea posted it in the chat and
Oh,
that's
okay.
free.
Let's do that. I don't want to
Yeah.
hold everybody up.
And
Yeah,
Christine,
I
you can
tried
do that.
Fire. Yeah, I tried it and it wouldn't come up either.
Firefly or the
Yeah, I
chat.
just.
Christine, are you trying the Firefly link?
I'm trying both. I'm trying everything that you guys have sent.
You want to share your
Firefly.
screen?
It's asking me for my password and stuff, so I'm trying to figure out what that is for Adobe. It leads me to Adobe.
You could just hit try now. Like when I brought it up, there was a pop-up and I said try now. And I can do an image in it.
So
Yeah.
it should look like this, and you can click try now, and you can just create right there.
Yeah, see that link sent me to my Adobe sign-in. It didn't send me to where you're going. I have to,
Try
which I
this.
don't.
Try this link that I just put in the chat.
Same. I can show you my screen. I'm just trying to reset my password now. I apologize. I didn't know this was all happening, so I'm kind of holding everybody up.
Did
You're
you
fine.
make an image, Andrea?
Hmm?
Did you make an image
Uh-huh.
and sent it to Christine?
No, not yet, because she's having
Issues. Having issues. It's been a day. Okay. Wow.
well, and we can
Like
try
what?
this, after they do
Important.
the images module, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm in. So I'm in Adobe. It says try it now. Okay. Send me the image. I'm all for it. Let's do this. I'm a little scared though. All right.
I'm
It's meant to
curious.
be fun.
Yeah, I'm curious what
Oh,
it's
all
gonna
right.
look like
Okay.
at the end. And then you just describe what you see into Firefly and see what it comes
Yep.
up with, and then pass it on. So then Heather, you're gonna get an image next. Like we need some music playing.
I was just gonna start humming.
The Jeopardy
Yeah,
one.
you can connect Spotify in here, do a little
Yeah.
little country music, little la la la.
Not country.
All right, sorry. I'm sorry. The Texas girl.
I got close, I guess. Okay. So I can't redo it, right? I can only send one. Wait, can I start
So
again?
she sends me an image and then I put that in. I write what I see in Adobe, right? Okay, I'm ready to go.
Are you ready, Heather?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
I hope. Okay. Oh, I didn't even get it.
I'm watching chat.
It's on its way.
Okay.
Can you hear the music?
I
Yes.
cannot-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't hear the music.
Oh my God, what is that thing in the middle? I can't even see it. Hold on. What is
You know, it's funny because after I saw my picture, I thought, oh wait, I could put a couple other better things, but I didn't want to cheat and do it again. So I left
Okay,
it.
I gotta literally
Right.
open this on my desktop because it's like I can't see. What the F? What is that thing? Okay, I'm just okay. All right, that's not the game. Here's the game. All right. Let's see. Red metal mountain.
Do the second round. We'll probably all be better at it.
Yeah, first round is always rough.
Yeah.
We can do it next week too.
I'm saving the link so I don't mess this up again. Now I'll know where to go. Oh, what about the people that have already done it? Are they going to be able to see Heather's or no, it's only going to the one person, right?
At the end, we'll share everybody's.
Okay.
So yeah, everybody can see.
One. Lord.
I'm gonna try to do it in Claude.
Chair and white. At the table in a very large. Wow.
Heather, you're skipping.
Don't
me.
listen.
What?
Heather, you're skipping me and sending it to Marakar when you're finished.
Making me sign an
Skipping
account.
you.
What's
Why don't you do
Jerry?
it?
Because I know what it is.
It's
You do?
not. It's making me sign in or create an account when I click to generate. Really, dude? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I just used snipping tool and snipped mine.
Yeah, or screenshot it.
The hell? It's making me sign and create an account. I'm like, what? Wait, how can I can't. Well, when I click generate, it's forcing me to. I don't have an account. Okay, I'm just gonna. Fine. Fine, whatever. Oh my God, this is making me do my date of birth. I mean, this 1950. Okay,
Which one are you using?
I'm using Adobe. It won't let me generate it. Generate. Okay, fine, great. Oh my God, pop-ups. Generate.
Bye, Nicole.
Thanks, Nicole. We'll see you. See you Tuesday. Have a good weekend.
Okay, now it's generating. Okay. All right.
So Heather, send it to Marakar.
Okay.
And then Marakar will send to Ned.
Oh,
And-
the snippet. Now I know why it's doing it. Snippet. I got snippet.
Yeah, that's what I did. Just snipped it.
That's why. I'm sending to who? I'm sorry. Say again, please. Mark Hart. Okay, got it. On its way.
I feel like we should do one possibly in our images class, but we could do one where everybody gets the same image and then we all try to recreate it on different platforms.
Ah, yeah.
I know Marikar's going to use Leonardo.
That's we do normally do that in the images module.
Yeah.
I think it took out the I sent it to Maricar, but it took out the thing. Christine, it took out the thing.
Leonardo.
The prompt?
No, it took out the
Watermark.
Oh, the thing in the
animal.
middle. Yeah.
It just took it
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, wait till you see what it started with, Heather. You're gonna be like, Christine, what did you do?
Yeah, mine.
That was not there.
Yeah. Well, I'll love to show you what you sent me. It looks like this weird. It's funny.
So this is actually like a really good lesson for doing alt text as well, because how you describe your images is how people who need that accessibility will read the text for those images. So you want to be using adjectives, describing colors.
Yeah, see, I didn't go deep enough.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just saying, right, you know, like
Kind of funny.
as you get more
Maricar, when you're done, you can
practice.
send it to Ned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's generating already.
Awesome.
What are you using, Mark, for? Are you using Firefly?
I'm using Leonardo.
That's Maricar's favorite.
Leonardo.
Leonardo is based off of Stable Diffusion.
Yeah, and it's still generating. I have a problem on my internet.
Do these images, do they ever time out, just sort of bog down and not come back with the results? Or?
So if you're using like a lower tier version of Midjourney and Leonardo, definitely they'll get bogged down sometimes and they'll take a little while to generate. If you're using like a higher paid version, they'll typically go faster. They have what's called turbo mode for a lot of the AI image generators, and those will go quicker.
You sent
I
me
got
that.
it.
Yeah. And then Maricar, when you make the cover image for this video, we should have all the pictures.
Yeah.
Wow. This is beautiful. All right. 1 second. And I'm sending to Nicole. Okay.
Yep. And
so while he's doing that, I was asking the question about Notion earlier. And the reason I was asking that is here's what I was asking. There's just so much, like even in this course, and so much like just coming at me and trying to place it in a way where I can go, oh, that's great, but I'm not going to go deep dive into it. Like Leonardo, like I'm not going to go deep dive into that right now. But I'm like, how do I start putting things in a way where that I can start to query that data? You know what I mean? And my old way has been like Notion and Google Docs. And I just feel like it's kind of antiquated. So that's why I was bringing up Notion and what you smart girls do.
Yeah, Stephanie is our Notion person. And she's a Notion expert. That's how we met Stephanie.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So how great is Notion? Like I literally barely gotten a login. Like, does it?
I like it. Yeah, so there's, you can make pages and you can use the pages as documents, or you can make databases in order to categorize the information. So in your case, if you want to like start a list of the tools that you want to research, you could make like a Kanban view where it's like columns of column A, I have not researched yet, but I want to. Column B, I've started to research. Column C, I love it. Column D, never again. And then inside of those cards, you can put in the information and the content. So it's a way of organizing. And tagging information.
I just feel like AI is changing so fast. I mean, I've had Evernote for literally like 15 years or whatever, and it's quite full, if you know what I mean. And it's a lot of digital marketing stuff and funnels. I just feel like with all this new AI, I kind of want to have a new space and a new organization because it's never ending. It's like we're taking a master's degree every day, you know? So, and my bookmarks are full, you know, like how do I start putting this in a way as I'm learning so much so that was my intention. And
yeah, Notion does have a little bit of a learning curve because it is so customizable, but that's where it kind of wins out over other tools because it has the capacity similar to the Go High Level. You can customize it a million different ways, right?
That's my
So
thing.
Notion is very customizable. You just have to kind of know how to customize it to fit your needs. And I think that's where a lot of people end up falling off the wagon is they're like, I don't know how to organize this or what it should look like.
Yeah.
Set them up. Yeah.
Because my friend's like, Notion. So I log in and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, what are we doing here? But I'm open to learning.
Yeah, I'd love to help
classes on there too. Like and portfolios and all sorts of things.
There's also a ton on YouTube. You could learn everything on YouTube.
Okay. But
And
I
I don't
want
like
a handhold. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, thank you. Do y'all recommend it? I guess it's another, am I going in the right direction? Okay.
I do. Let me use it.
It's not, we don't use their AI because their AI is not where we would like it to be.
Right. Okay.
So we use it for project management.
Yeah, project management. And like, I feel like we're in class or in school so much. I want to be able to put it somewhere.
Yeah, for I'm taking my certificate for my PMP and I'm putting all of my notes and organizing it and categorizing it specifically in Notion.
Okay.
And then I go to Jasper and I make like practice tests for myself on Jasper.
How's it going, Ned?
It's going well. I've sent the image over to Nicole.
Nicole's on mute.
Yeah, I'm mute.
If you want to do a bonus on Notion, bonus hour one day, I'll come.
Yeah, Notion is deep.
Yeah.
Which is why people like was that you that was saying you lose interest as you start to dig deeper into
other people will fall off the wagon typically.
We did. I mean, we tried really hard to figure it out, but I'm glad we did because that's how we met Stephanie. So yeah, it does so many things.
Yeah.
Kind of like Go High Level, right? It does so many things. Who really knows all the things in Go High Level? No one.
Every day, it's constant. Yeah.
It's like even more than that. And it can connect to Slack and a bunch of other places. So it just, for us, it helps us keep on times and projects and everything so that team members can know what it is they need to do and when things are due, and you can get notified if something's coming up. We can do calendars, we can have resource lists, you can share things with clients and have private pages, and so there's so many things. We use it mostly for project management, but it can be used to share with clients and just like host a page for them, or onboarding employees, or
I love that.
I mean, they have tons of templates like company information, like the HR stuff, or employee handbook, and all kinds of things like that too. And they have a whole EOS pack of templates that you can buy, and tons of different things in there. So
is it free, or is there
Notion is it costs. I think there is a free account.
Yeah, there's a free version that is good enough to like get you started to test out a few things.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
A lot of people use it too, as Andrea mentioned, kind of like as a resource library. So if you have a whole library of documents and how-tos that you want to provide clients, it's really, really good for that too.
Okay. Thanks, girls.
So Richard has Nicole's image, and then I lost the chat. So I'm trying to find who is after Richard. Stephanie?
Yes, I'm after Richard. And then I'm the last one.
And then Andrea, we'll have you share your image. Actually, should we have Stephanie share her image first? Since she's the end of the chain.
Your call.
You guys want to see the beginning or the end first?
I think we could do the end first.
I'm probably going to use Gemini.
Nice.
See if you can use Gemini to create an image, if it'll do it. Claude wouldn't, so I ended up doing it in Jasper. And I think there was an image that was more similar than the one that I used, but I kind of like the one that I used better.
Yep, I just made a Christmas tree in Gemini, so it's working for me.
Okay, good.
Whenever we can another time, but I just want to put a pin on that original question I started at the very beginning of the hour, which was that GPTs just disappeared when I changed my settings. Don't know if that's something we can talk about sometime.
Yeah, we would have to see your screen and know like if you're logged into the right account and everything. Did you accidentally create a new account?
No, because I'm only paying for one, and this is the one I'm paying for. Yeah, I'm in there right now. So weird. So I just changed my settings of like my general personal my general, yeah, and then it just disappeared. Or maybe it's in a different place and I don't know it. That's possible.
Yeah, I just don't know where to tell you to go without looking at your screen.
Well, let me know when it's appropriate. I can share my screen whenever y'all have time. All right, because I have it right here. It's been sitting here.
All right. And Richard, were you able to send over the image to Stephanie?
Oh, just got it.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
So I got the prompt and not the image.
Yeah. So he probably, yeah, because I said to send you the prompt if he
Okay.
couldn't get the image. Yeah.
Okay.
We're almost done. Heather, what was the thing you wanted to do in ChatGPT? I couldn't hear because with the music, it turned my volume down.
Yeah, I'll just show you really quickly. So my, I used to have like, I created like 3 or 4 GPTs, right?
Mhm.
And I click on my GPTs and it's just completely blank.
Oh,
I keep going my GPT and it should be right here. I only created 2, so it's not a big deal. But
did you message them about that?
I haven't. I didn't know what to do. I just haven't last night. I thought, well, I'll bring that call. I'll bring it to you guys. What do you think I should do? What happened is I went into this and I changed this from a different thing to a domain, from a domain, like it was like aiprofits.com or something. And then I clicked
Mhm.
and then I just changed it. I was like, well, I really don't have my name. And so I just changed this and selected LinkedIn and off we went.
Mhm.
I didn't change anything else. And then literally went into my GPT. It was like, poof. So I thought, well, maybe the GPTs are owned by that other name, right?
Yeah.
But
Did
then I
you
don't know how to
search?
get it back.
Did you search for your GPTs in the
I didn't think
GPT?
about that. This is why I've asked you. Okay, cool. Didn't think about that. AI profits.
Okay, Stephanie, why don't you post your image?
No.
And you were correct. Gemini doesn't want to do people right now.
I can't remember what I named it. There's something about sales.
Or search under your username because that
Your
would
old
be
username.
It was AI profits.
Mhm.
Hmm. Interesting.
Download
That's-
it before put it in.
Bye, GPT. That's really interesting. So don't change who owns it. Lesson of the day.
I would ask them about it.
Where's customer
Their
support?
customer service. Oh,
Where's customer service?
potential security issue. Just do a screenshot of it, Stephanie.
Or just share your screen. That might be easier than
Yep.
downloading it.
And then
Or
also I had an issue with the download of the new.
Oh, that looks nice.
Ta-da!
Wow.
Okay, what
Oh,
was the first picture?
It was Christine's.
Oh,
Isn't it
if it-
Andrea's?
Is
yeah,
Andrea?
it's Andrea.
Oh, Andrea's.
I'm gonna share hers because she's having some computer issues. This was
What?
Andrea's.
Oh, what?
I
That's
veered
so
us off. I'm
far-fetched.
sure of it.
Let's see
All
what
right.
was Christine's.
Christine, let's see yours.
All right. Let's see if it will still paste it in there. Yeah. Oh, guys, so bad. If I could only do it again. Well, can you see it? I did it to everyone.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
What is
Yeah.
that?
So I didn't get all the aliens. I was like aliens sitting at a table, and it just gave me all of. I'm gonna age myself. It looks like Elf. Anybody watch the show Elf?
Yes.
When they were a kid? It looks
That's why
like
I kept
Elf.
saying, what is that? Because it didn't look like
Yeah.
a bear, but you know, it looks like elf.
I almost sent you a message of like, do you remember Elf?
I did.
That's
Yeah,
Elf.
I did.
Yeah, I got some of it right. Now let's see Heather's.
Yeah, this is mine. So it took out the elf
Oh,
and turned the
similar.
table.
That
So
looks
what
beautiful.
was your prompt, Heather?
What was my prompt?
Yeah.
I just kept describing it, but I said that thing was a bear. Didn't like it, so I just took it out.
So did you say like bear sitting in a table with hot air
I
balloons?
said very large brown bear thing. And it just said, it just took it out. Like, don't need it.
Nice.
Who was
And
next?
Ned, what was your prompt? Or like you
I
could,
think
I mean, you could post the image.
Markar is
Oh,
not, I think.
Marker.
Here's mine.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
so-
Markar was next.
Oh, we still have the table and the
Okay.
balloons and the red rock.
Yeah.
Ned.
Wow. There's no aliens. They're all gone.
So the
Yeah.
subjects have been completely removed, but the table, the location, and the hot air balloons.
Remain.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Where's Alf? Yeah.
Alf's gone.
Ned, were you able to share yours?
Mac.
Yeah, Ned's
Yeah. I mean, here.
Oh, I found my GPTs. They're not under my GPTs. The high ticket sales specialist just popped up. It's so crazy, but it's not under my GPTs.
I mean, there's mine here. I don't know if
We'll
Alf's
let
up
you put it
here.
in the chat for everyone. Just copy your
Oh,
picture.
yeah.
Ned.
Right here.
Nice.
Oh, you added flowers.
Well, I figured, yeah. I think it said red roses, but you know, maybe these are, I don't know, penta, carnations. I don't know. Maybe some plant in Africa that the AI drones are looking for. I don't know, but it.
And so
We're-
after his, I did these what I did for mine is I
Yeah.
pasted the picture into Jasper art and I
Mhm.
said, please create an image like the one below.
Oh.
Oh.
And so it
Let's
did.
see.
That's cheating.
So it took out the table and added a human?
Well, that was one of my options. It gave me 4 options for images. And I
Okay.
passed on the
Yeah.
one with the human because I liked it.
Yeah.
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 Oh, wow.
And then Stephanie had the last image.
That was Richard.
Richard took, I guess, created the
thinking of
prompt
Cole.
from the image.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So Stephanie, what was the prompt that you received? And then
Let's see if it goes. The prompt was, please create a picture of hot air balloons hovering above a mountain range with a man in the
Yep.
foreground with his arms side to side.
Hey,
nice.
show them the second version I created in Leonardo before you tell them what my original prompt was.
It's not going.
can you show what that is? Because I can't see it in the chat, Stephanie.
Yeah, I don't really know why it's not like showing up, so I'm just gonna share my screen quickly.
Okay.
I-
Oh, that was the, yeah.
I'm making an image, but I can't put it in the chat, so I'm learning. Oh my
That's
God,
my second iteration of
Sweet.
it. That's Leonardo.
And then
That's
I knew what the prompt was. So let me move Discord because I did one in
That
mid.
looks like it could be a Weezer video or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Weezer.
Oh,
So the prompt was aliens partying in Sedona. But I did one in Midjourney and added a weird parameter to it.
Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So original prompt, aliens partying in Sedona.
Does AI Smart have a Discord channel that we should join, or is that just for internal use?
It's internal. We haven't so far, most people who have gone through the cohort aren't heavy users of Discord, but in the future we might add one.
I got heavy involved it during COVID because of
yeah.
house heavy. And then all of a sudden I got out of all the groups and I was very happy to leave.
Yeah.
Very happy not to get that ding 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 ding.
Oh, I'm in like 30 groups, so I keep all my notifications off.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was a fun edition of the
Yeah.
AI Unplugged Mastermind today. A little hands-on, and we got deep into talking about bots and GPTs and custom environments. And I think we'll probably dig into that a little bit more next week. And we can show you our chatbot, kind of some of the things that it does, like from the inside out. Yeah.
And try aliens partying in Sedona now and see what you get and post it in the community.
Yeah. Okay.
Now that you know what it was supposed to be.
You said that next week that's gonna do, or is it gonna be the following week,
Probably next mastermind,
which is in 2 weeks?
Wednesday next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Oh, cool.
I've got some alien art to post in the community.
Nice.
Still generating. Oh, wow.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Hey.